Hey there YouTube, it's Gundude73 making a knife review today. And today we'll be looking at the Ray Laconico Jasmine frame lock folder. Now, Ray Laconico is a custom knife maker, and some of the things with this knife can be completely different from other Jasmines that he makes, including size and lock type and G10 texture and all that. So if you like this basic design, but say you don't care for G10, or you'd rather have your G10 be textured, or you want a liner lock, you can do that, which is pretty nice in my opinion. So I'll be going over just the basic design of the knife, because some aspects can be changed and will change from knife to knife. This particular knife has a very nice blade shape in my opinion, just a standard drop point. But it's very nice, and the blade itself is a full flat grind and a nice secondary bevel. Interesting thing is how, and this is how the knife ships, just in a little zippered case. I was going to say Ziploc bag, I don't know why. But I'll just use the small Sebenza here as a pointer. So you see, like right here on the Laconico, there's this little like milled out pocket, and this is what wraps around the stop pin in the close position. The Sebenza sort of does the same thing. As you can see, it's sort of like a portion of the blade is cut out right there, and that's what hooks around the blade, the stop pin I should say. The Laconico does that as well, but it's more formed to the actual stop pin. So when you're closing it, it fits perfectly around it. Held together with Torx screws, which is nice. So if you wanted to, you could take this knife apart. The thumb stud is easy to access, and it features the same type of ridging like a Sebenza does. Let me get this to focus. You can see what I'm talking about. It has that sort of terrace thing that the Sebenza has in a way, as you can see. The difference, though, is whereas the Sebenza's thumb stud is completely, it's level with the scale, the thumb stud in the Laconico is proud of the handle, so that makes it easy to access, in my opinion. The steel on this particular knife is D2, and even with all my problems with knives rusting, I've been wiping this thing down religiously since I got it, and I haven't had any problems with rust yet. So knock on wood, I don't have any rust problems yet. So this particular knife is a titanium frame lock. The knife has no blade play in the open position, which is awesome. And the lockup hasn't moved at all since I've got it. One nice thing with the titanium side is it features a orange peel finish, which it looks really cool. You don't see that too much on like production knives. The detent on this knife is good. It doesn't shake out, and the overall form factor of the knife is very compact. The G10 features a smooth finish, which doesn't abrade your hands. Abrase? I don't know. It doesn't hurt your hands when you hold it. It's very smooth and supple. His maker's mark, his finish on the spine of the blade right there, kind of shiny, which is throwing the focus off in the camera, but you can see it. The blade is it's a little bit thicker than like 1/8 of an inch. I believe it's at 0.135. The pocket clip is very nice in my opinion. You can see that it's mounted as high as you could possibly go on the handle. And the nice thing too, just move this to focus. Did it focus? Nope. There we go. So you can see that the edge of that clip is right up against the edge of the titanium. And this nice thing here too, this is all smooth. There's nothing is proud, basically. So everything on this knife is fit very well together, as you would expect from a handmade knife at this price point. Speaking of price point, in the realm of custom knives, especially for folders, really, it depends. The price of it depends on a few things. Depends on if the maker is full-time or part-time. Like you can have a knife maker who simply makes knives in his spare time for fun, or to relieve stress or what have you. And then you have makers who are full-time, and that's their job. That's their livelihood. So obviously the latter will demand a higher price because they have to actually live off of their knives. I'm not sure if Ray is full or part-time. I think he's full-time. And for the amount he charges, which for this particular knife, at this day and time, prices are subject to change in the future, this was $425. So I mean, that's comparable to a Sebenza. But you can determine what size knife you want. So if you want a 3-inch blade or a 3.5-inch blade, he made one recently that was 4 3/8 of an inch long. So really, you know, the sky is the limit, as it were, on how big you want the knife. This blade is 3 3/8 of an inch long, so it's a nice size. The ergonomics on this handle are very nice. As I said in previous videos, it's very similar to a Sebenza in the sense that it doesn't have any aggressive curves like, say, a Spyderco would have that make it holding in different grips kind of awkward. This feels good like that. It feels good with your finger on the spine. It feels good like that. It feels good in a variety of grips. Really, I don't have anything bad to say about this knife. It's the only knife that I have so far that gives my Sebenza a run for its money, like a serious run for its money. Over the last month I've had this maybe only twice. I've carried something else besides this, if that says anything. The blade is super smooth because it's running on Teflon washers. It feels smoother than my Sebenza, truth be told. And the blade centering is also pretty good. One nice thing with the lanyard hole is that it has a, I think it's a chamfer. Just a nice little added touch. Decently sized. And the backspacer on this is also G10. Oop, sorry about that. So I mean, overall, if you're looking for a nice handmade knife that you may want, you know, to get, if you're looking to get a handmade knife, custom knife, whatever you want to call it, I think that Ray's knives are a great option in the market. As previously said, he mainly sells through Blade Forums and the USN. His stuff sells really fast on Blade Forums, usually less than a few hours, sometimes even sooner depending on the specific model. So if you want one, I'd highly suggest either maybe contacting him and getting on some sort of list, maybe, I'm not sure if he has one, or if he's ever at a knife show again in the future, to hit him up. You know, he's a nice guy, he's a great guy to talk to, you know, when I met him at the Plaza show. No, not the Plaza show, the Pasadena show, sorry. So, I'll just give some quick size comparisons here, in case you did not watch my other video. It's right in between a small and large Sebenza, as you can see, which is a nice size for EDC in my opinion. It's smaller than something like a 4-inch knife like the Tilt or the Spyderco Military. One nice thing with this knife is it packs a lot of cutting edge into a very compact overall design. So something like the Paramilitary 2, which as you can see is a lot longer overall, sorry about that bump. It's probably 3/4 to an inch, maybe more than an inch longer overall. But in terms of the actual length of edge, they're about identical. So one reason I've been carrying it is because it's simply buttery smooth. And why did I say that? I meant to say it's super compact. I'm doing one thing, I'm thinking another. So basically, super compact, fits my hand like a glove, and it's really cool because it was made for me, you know. That's sort of the nice thing with a custom knife, you know, it's made on an individual basis. So, thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate the views and the support. If you have any questions or comments about this knife, feel free to leave them. Any specific questions about aspects of the knife that I may not have covered, I'll be glad to mention and answer those for you. So, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.